with the obvious pandemic that we're in right now, and having to quarantine for it's been like 6 months now, I think.
Uh,
How is that? How has that been for you? And obviously your profession over these past 6 months.
it sucks, honestly. To be real, I mean, we we had a full on like few dates for a tour, sort of kind of. We had it all ready to go, and then right when they shut everything down, it was the day before we were supposed to leave. And so it's kind of weird going from us playing every weekend and do the week to like maybe playing a show or two a month. It's really weird. I don't know. It's I miss it. I miss
Yeah.
it. Everything was a simpler time before the war.
So I had a similar situation with the whole shutdown thing. I was supposed to go to Disneyland the day before they closed it. So my last
Oh,
day in the office was March 13th on like a Friday, and we were supposed to go on the 14th the next day. And literally, as I was at work, they shut down Disneyland. So I totally get
oh,
how that feels, and having to deal with all this shutdown.
yeah. Well, it was a similar situation happened with me and some of my friends, and we went to Six Flags, and I believe we went like literally the day before everything shut down, and it's just like, oh, okay, well, great.
Well, at least you got to
I
go.
mean, yeah, it was fun. We got to go, and I mean, the lines weren't long, so we got to ride pretty much almost everything. And then as soon as we left and got back home, they were like, Six Flags is now officially closed until further notice. We were like, oh, great.
Well, what's
So
funny is Danielle and I just had gotten back from a cruise, and we legit needed toilet paper, and we were like, "What the heck? Why are all the stores all of a sudden not having toilet paper?" And we looked online, and the whole big thing about it being gone, we're like, "Are you kidding me? Like, this is the worst time. Like, we would legit need some." And so we had to scrounge
the
around, like, had to get it from like the back alley or something. Had to get one ply, maybe
yeah,
half
the
a ply, not
toilet
even
paper
one.
raid,
Yeah, it was
the toilet
ridiculous. I
paper
was like, "Are
raid.
you kidding me?"
Yeah, I totally
Cruise.
forgot you were on a cruise at the beginning of all this. I'm like, does Lane even know what's going on right now?
Yeah,
He's
I
away
was
from
just in my own world.
civilization.
Oh God,
I was carefree and in my own world, and then we got
that
back
had to
and
be
we're like,
like the worst
"Oh,
thing, I bet.
yeah, exactly." Yeah, it was not a fun experience. We were like, "What?" But we still got to go on the
I
Well, it's
cruise.
heard
like,
there's actually some cruise workers that are like stuck on some of these boats
mhm.
currently still because they want to keep them, in a bubble. And so they haven't got to like go home or anything. And a lot of them live overseas and stuff like that. So that's got to be
Oh
just nuts.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
constantly
we were
flying
yeah,
and not being able to get off the boat because of all the protocols.
yeah, we were super
that's
lucky that we
crazy.
were able to come back to port. I mean, if not, I was just gonna jump off the ship and swim there at that point. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Desperate times.
Desperate measures.
That's right. I see what you did there. Yeah, Matt. Have y'all thought about doing like, because a lot of bands now during quarantine are like doing live streaming stuff. Have y'all thought about?
Mhm.
Have y'all considered doing that?
Yeah, I mean, we've done one. We did an acoustic one around the time like close to when everything shut down, like in the beginning of it. But
Hmm.
I mean, a lot of it was just during this break. We've been kind of working on we just finished our album, recording it and everything, and finally got it mastered and all that. And so now we're just in the next process of trying to release that in some way. And I'm pretty sure there'll be some live streams in the future, depending on how long this goes. But
Right.
we're just kind of gauging it and seeing where it goes right now. And yeah.
Lane, it's
That's
funny you
crazy.
say that because the first question we got here for the group to talk about is what can bands do or artists to thrive and connect with the fans while we're all in this pandemic? And what do you think the future of like big concerts are? And where do you think that those are going to go?
Yeah, I think live streaming is definitely a good way to keep that going. At least for right now, I don't see it as a permanent solution. But I think live shows will come back a little bit sooner than what everybody thinks. I know everybody's having a lot of worries about that. And wondering if they're ever going to be able to go to a live show again. You know, some people are opening up and doing some outside shows and kind of getting back into the swing of things. We've done a few shows here and there, but we just try to stay active on social media, kind of keep everybody in the loop. And I think that's very important for any band because social media is a big part of a lot of the music industry right now. You have to be active on social media in order to, you know, keep the momentum going. And yeah, I mean, I think it'll be coming back a little bit sooner than what everybody thinks. I know a lot of people are nervous about that. And I have my, not say doubts, but I'm kind of nervous too in some way, but I really do think it'll come back and everybody will start kind of starting to do that again. I think everybody's kind of longing for that right now. I know that the internet side of things is actually helping people move along right now, but I know for a fact that a lot of people are still craving for that in-person, full-on concert type deal. And it's hard for a lot of people because they're missing live music right now, and it's making people crazy. Honestly, I think live music is a big thing that we need in this world, and you know, we're making do with what we have, which is good. I love that bands are being innovative to doing live streams and finding different ways to stay active. Mm-hmm. Even just putting out videos or streams or lyric videos, album parties or whatever. I think that's really cool that everybody's doing that, you know.
I was going to say the first stuff that I've seen, which has been mostly live streams and like album, you know, reviews or listen throughs, parties. Under Oath is a band that really got like ahead of the game in the beginning. I feel like back in April, they started doing a series of all their albums.
Yeah.
And kind of listening through each one as a way to kind of connect with the fans without being able to perform. And then recently they've been able to do some album playthroughs of their entire albums live, which has been incredible to see. And even, you know, Amberlin and Silverstein and Dance Gavin Dance, like all these bands are starting to come up with ways to connect. And it's funny, like I've seen, like normally I typically see quite a few concerts every year, or I try to. And this time I saw 2 concerts at the beginning of this year, like in January or February, right before this all happened. And now I've seen like 6 or 7 live stream concerts, and it's like, this is normal now. This is like, well, it's also crazy because like the audience that they can grab while doing these things are like 10 times larger than when they're on tour, you know, going from city to city. This gives them an opportunity to be like, okay, we have this one night, we're doing a live stream. You can stream it up to 24 hours or a week, or whatever it is, and they have the entire world, you know, to come in for $10 a ticket and experience the whole thing. So the audience is like even larger. So it kind of brings a really cool opportunity for the bands to do something never done before and be able to perform for all their fans at once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do think that's pretty cool how they do that. Another band that also was ahead of the game whenever this stuff started was a band called Code Orange. I've been keeping up with them. They did a live stream of them playing in their set that they were supposed to go on tour, and it was to an empty venue. But they live streamed it, and it ended up getting a lot of views and a lot of good feedback. And I think it was one of the coolest things that I've seen as far as, you know, the start of the live stream era, I guess you could say right now. But
have you ever thought about or have you guys thought about doing that with Post Profit anytime soon? Possibly setting up in a venue and playing full production with, you know, live sound and everything, or does that seem a little too out there at the moment?
I don't think it seems too out there. I think it could definitely happen. We would definitely have to talk some more about it and see what we want to do and how we want to approach it, especially with the fact that, you know, with us finishing our album and everything, and depending on how the timeline of everything going on right now, if live music is going to come back around a time where we feel like where we do come up with a release date, you know, I think it'd be cool that if it doesn't happen, I think it would be cool if we could do that and just play the whole thing front to back. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's a cool thing. It's a cool idea that can go around and we can talk about it and try to make it happen.
Yeah, because I'm really thinking about, I mean, not only the national bands and what they're doing, but like thinking about what local bands like Post Profit and other bands and you know, around Texas in general, what they can do during this time. Because I know they don't have a ton of resources or maybe even a ton of connections that can get them to where some of these national bands have gotten as far as like live streams go and things like that. So I'm really interested to see what creative ideas that local bands are able to come up with during all this, that will kind of show, you know, it's kind of like a survival of the fittest, you know, scenario that we're in right now when it comes to.
And it's weird just seeing how all of it goes. You know, a lot of bands aren't going to make it through this when everything is all said and done, you know, and a lot of other bands are just trying to be innovative and trying to keep up, and, you know, it's just the way everything is right now, and adjusting and trying to get used to this, you know, even though it sucks and we don't want to get used to it. I mean, I know we all want to go back to playing live shows and doing it full throttle, 0 to 90. But, you know, right now it's just the way it is. We're just kind of learning to adapt right now. And some people are able to get with it, and some people just kind of fall behind. It's just the way it is. And it sucks that it's that way, but I mean, what can you do at this point? So
Right. Well, in like the future of live music, like I'm wondering if like when they do start bringing it back, if there'll be like social distanced concerts, you know, or limited capacity. I know me and Lane got some tickets to go see some shows next year. Like, what do you think those are going to look like next year, even if we're still in this or not? Like, do you think things will change?
I think it's up in the air still at this point. You know, we don't really foresee the end of this right now as far as a timeline. So it's like we don't really know, and I can't even really put an accurate answer on it. I mean, my hope is that, you know, it comes back full throttle. I mean, I know a lot of people right now that are playing gigs here and there, and, you know, it's limited capacity. You have to wear a mask. You have to have a certain group of people in your group, and you have to stay we had to do a show where the people had to stay in their seats while we were playing.
Wow.
Like and it's weird. It's very, very weird, but I think
it's hard to sit down at a rock show.
It really is. It really, really
Please
is.
remain seated at all times during the rock show. Keep your hands and arms in the vehicle. You know, how do you approach that?
That's pretty much what it felt like. And so everybody was like, yeah, and, you know, people were coming up to the front and they were like, well, we have to have everybody sit down. So a lot of people were bummed out about that, and including us. And it was just weird all the way around. I mean, we've played shows where people have sat down during our shows, but not because they have to. So it's weird. I mean, we played the ones that, you know, they sit down and we try to get them up, and then it was just weird that it's like, you know, we do what we do. We try to get them up, and they're wanting to come up. Yeah, but they're like, oh yeah, you have to sit down. So that's weird.
Will you be going to any social distance shows next year, or do you think they'll be, you know, like he was saying, 0 to 90?
You know, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, like Matt was saying, there's so many people itching to want to get back out and get to reality. I mean, but then again, like you said, with these rules in place, like, you know, people are going to abide in them. If not, then they're going to, like I said, get kicked out of the show. So it's kind of like, you know, people are like, I mean, I guess I'll wear the mask, and I guess I'll do, sit down if that's the way it has to be. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's everyone's kind of on the same page now. So, it's like going to the grocery stores now. It's like I will wear the mask, but I'm not going to abide by the signs to go down the aisle. It's like go this way, now go this way. It's like, you know what?
Well,
now that crosses the line.
The thing I don't get is that, it's the whole thing with mask and everything. You got people coming in through one entrance. It's just, you look at the overall demographic of it and you see like the guidelines and measures we're taking. And some of them just kind of to me, they don't really make sense.
Yeah, a lot of it's not been thought through at all. And they're just like, scrambling to figure out something. It's like, okay, you can go to a restaurant, you wear a mask inside, but then when you sit down, you can take it off. So it's like, it feels silly walking in with it on if you're just going to take it off. Is that even safe to do that?
It's like, why would you have people go through the trouble to do that, to put it on, go through the struggle of putting it on, and then like 3 minutes later, you have to take it off, and then you have to put it back on to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
What are you helping there, You're still not wearing it while you're eating.
Yeah.
So like,
no, actually, yeah, you're immune to it when you're eating. That's actually a fact, scientific fact. You can't get it while you're eating. I couldn't even say that seriously.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's just so wild. Like even, sports coming back and trying to do this whole bubble concept, and people aren't, abiding by those rules and they're breaking the bubble. A lot of baseball teams that have delayed with their games. Some NBA players are going out and, partying and then coming back to the bubble and things like that. It's just like, and then they're expecting football to happen this fall. I'm just like, wow, this is a really interesting thing going on right now.
Yeah, it's a more of a, I believe it when I see it on that thing, because it's like, I want football to come back, but with the way everything's going, you already see the baseball games coming out, and there's, cut out cardboard people there, or teddy bears that get knocked in the head for a home run, So it's like, I don't know what to. I don't know. I mean, half the college football teams have like gone ahead and just said they weren't going to do their season. They were going to cancel their seasons. So, and I mean, it's weird. It is very weird. It's a weird time we are living in right now.
Yeah, but it's funny to see the innovation in people, like especially with the cutouts.
Oh yeah.
The dude had a cutout of the guy from Weekend at Bernie's. I think it was at Kansas City.
Yeah, I did see that.
I was like,
that was pretty cool.
That was clever.
That was pretty cool.